Okay, so we all saw the Spider-Man trailer, and we don't know what they're swinging us into. Let's try and make sense of it.
Take that.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Nerds Make Sense. We just saw the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer, and we got some thoughts. So
Look at that. Only 5 episodes in, and he's already starting to forget to introduce us.
I wanted to,
I said we.
dude, I was gonna be funny. I'm Ted. Yeah, I wanted to do that, but I didn't know where. I thought he was going his way with it, bro. I thought he was gonna.
Okay, well, now that we've got that out of the way, of course,
that's
that's Manuel who started us off.
I'm Ted.
I'm
keep,
Josh.
Dude, keep that in.
Let's keep it.
Yeah, keep it in. That's funny.
Yeah, I'm definitely keeping that in.
Oh,
He's been here for, what, 2 weeks, and he already thinks he owns the damn place?
I'm the captain now.
Oh fuck! That's
So,
funny, bro.
Spider-Man, huh?
Yeah, Spider-Man Far From Home. Okay. All right. So, those of us who don't know, Spider-Man Far From Home is the sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming.
Really?
And it also takes place minutes after Avengers Endgame. So, spoiler alert for Avengers Endgame.
Does it really take minutes? I thought it was months.
Minutes. No, minutes.
So was he already a senior before he got snapped?
Minutes.
No.
No.
His whole class.
He was. I think he was a senior in Infinity War or something. Yeah, because he was a junior.
So then, yes, he was a senior before he got snapped.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. That didn't make. The numbers didn't add up.
Come on, we are the nerds that make sense, not the nerds that make no sense. Let's go.
Yep. So it takes place minutes after Endgame. So of course we already know the events of Infinity War was that everybody got snapped and disappeared,
And in Endgame, everybody got brought back.
and everybody got back. But the catch was that it had been 5 years past on Earth that that these people missed out on.
Right.
So of course the events of Endgame opened up a lot of new avenues for what could happen in the MCU. We had time travel, we had alternate realities, we had a bunch of loose ends that happened, all kinds of crazy stuff. One of our main heroes died, but like really died, like actually dead this time. As far as we know.
Rest in peace, Jeffrey Giraffe.
Yeah, rest in peace, Jeffrey.
That's gonna be our new inside joke.
It is. So the thing that's most interesting to me. So things we know from this trailer. Mysterio is involved, and we all most people who are familiar with Spider-Man are familiar with Mysterio. This is a different Mysterio than we're used to seeing, and the reason being is that he's from another universe. So
Okay.
that's a big thing that we're dropping in the MCU. The biggest thing for me is that they called the cinematic universe. They said that was Earth 616. So those of you who are not aware, the mainline comics call their universe Earth 616. And the thing that's a little weird is because in the comics, they often make references to the cinematic universes as existing, and they have their own number according to the comics. So this is a little odd, maybe saying that it's its own multiverse, I guess, kind of. And so I'm a little confused. So I don't know exactly what to take from it.
Yeah, I understand that. I don't really know. It was confusing for me too, because when you told me it,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't really know how to go about it.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I mean,
Yeah.
at first, cause like you told me when you explained it to me, I was like, oh, then how's
Yeah, I'm sure
It
they're
doesn't bother me.
I'm sure they're gonna give us an explanation. Hopefully, at least if not in movie, then out of movie, somebody like Kevin Feige will tell us like oh yeah, this is the reason why, and da, 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 da. I'm like I'm okay with that. I'm sure they're gonna explain it to me. I'm just a little shocked. I just don't know.
What do you think of the idea that because in the trailer, Nick Fury says, "Oh yeah, he's from a different universe. He's telling us this." What are the odds of you thinking that he just straight up lied?
He just straight up lied
That
about being from another universe.
That there is no multiverse.
Oh fuck!
That's what I was thinking.
I didn't even think about that.
Because there's an interview right with the characters I told Josh about when we seen Detective Pikachu, that when they're asking about the characters, they're like explain Nick Fury to us. We're like, Nick Fury's playing catch up right now. He's trying to catch up on all the 5 years he's been gone. Yeah. And he meets this guy, and this guy says another universe, and he's like, all right, so we gotta fucking fix it, right? And then what if he's just using that just to get I don't know publicity? That's the only thing I don't really know what he's trying to get.
Well, from how they framed the trailers that we've seen so far is that it definitely seems that Mysterio's playing like this role, kind of like Syndrome was in Incredibles. How from what I can tell, we're being made to believe that he set up these monsters and then is taking them down to, like you said, kind of like gain publicity or at least gain trust from know either Nick Fury or Peter Parker or both, or the whole world at large. Who knows? Yeah. You know what I mean? So, like that's just how it seemed to me. It might not have been what they were trying to convey, but that's what I think. They were trying to say.
Sorry, but yeah. So, and then what you like you said about how he's trying to build up to something like that thing. It's funny because when you look at how Mysterio is, his costume is, you could tell it's like, if you really look at it, the colors and everything, you can see like Thor's kind of look, Iron Man's kind of like stuff, and then with that in the trailer, like, who is that? And then it was like, oh, it's like Iron Man, Thor, and blah 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 combined. So I guess maybe during the snap happening, he's like, all these, they're gone. It's time for me to be the hero. Maybe I can make my stuff look good.
That makes sense. Yeah,
I
can see that.
And then they came back, and he's like, oh, fuck, what do I do? Let's just go to, I don't know how he makes Nick Fury, but maybe he just like, and then Nick Fury's like, and then Nick Fury is the guy who knew it all. You know what I mean? So, he's going to go with, hey, Bob. So, is this guy for real? He's like, dude, there's a lot of shit happening right now. I think there is a multiverse. Nick Fury, because they said also Nick Fury's playing catch up, and they said that along the way the Spider-Man Nick Fury thing kind of pulls apart because Nick Fury's finally catching on. They're like, there's a conflict between him and Mysterio. Yeah, and then he's trying to tell. They're loosely saying it. I'm just like putting it in my own words. And then he's trying to warn Peter, but Peter's like, "Oh, dude, but this guy's so amazing." You know how Peter is. And then,
I definitely think that there's because it's just Peter's character so far. He's been looking for father figures because he keeps losing them. Like marbles, he just keeps fucking losing them. And so he's definitely gonna be trying to fill that hole probably with Mysterio, who's like a superhero, and he's doing stuff, and he's probably gonna take everything Mysterio says at face value, and that's gonna be where most of the conflict comes from. Especially because you can see that he's not open to Nick Fury, really. Like, he's not. He didn't want to talk to him. He was like, he sent him to voicemail.
Yeah, you don't do that.
The mad lad sent him to voicemail.
You don't do that to Nick Fury.
Yeah, that's crazy. And so I think
Nick
that's
Fury
where
called
a lot's
him a
gonna
bitch.
Yeah.
Bitch, you been to space. A lot of people were surprised on that.
That was funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
Okay. So the reason we want to talk about this one by itself is because I for one am just honestly curious about the thought of what could the possibilities be if they do run with the multiverse scenario. I'm fine with them setting up their own multiverse. That's fine. That's okay. Yeah. I know the comics will probably just say like, oh well, a version of the MCU exists inside the comics and it's this universe, but the MCU is also its own multiverse that don't exist within ours. You know, like because that's just how almost everything works. Like all the cartoons are their own universe, but then in the cartoons, some of them have their own like multiverse events. So that's where they kind of clash with the comics. So it doesn't fit there. So that's fine. That's not a problem that we haven't already had when it comes to continuity across media. So so what kind of things do you think we could see from the multiverse? Like what kind of things? Because we've already seen Spider-Verse. We know what that's like. What that could bring. So what other things for other characters, maybe for other properties, do you think could be crossing?
You mean
multiverses?
like alternate stories or something like
Yeah.
that?
So what else could we see?
Well, I mean, if there truly is a multiverse, then this could be a way to bring Black Widow back.
Yeah, like a different Black Widow. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
Because I know we still have the Black Widow movie coming.
well, that's supposed to be an origin thing.
Yeah.
Is it? Has it been confirmed that
it's
that's what's
an
going on?
origin thing.
Yeah.
It's an
Okay.
origin thing, yeah.
It's about her because they set all the seeds for that in like Age of Ultron and everything, with her and the ballerina stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So I think honestly, I think this is gonna be their segue into getting the properties they just acquired because Disney just acquired all the Fox properties. So I think that this will get them their X-Men, get them their I think Fantastic Four was also part of the Fox.
Fantastic Four and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's gonna get them theirs, and I know their probably next big universe setup will be Galactus. So with Fantastic Four under their ownership now, so
it can happen, and Silver Surfer and stuff like that.
yeah, Silver Surfer. Well, Silver Surfer is a herald of Galactus, so
Yeah. So and then with Galactus, like I told you before, my friend of mine Willard told me that when we were talking about it in Guardians of the Galaxy when they explained the stone, the Infinity Stones, and they showed this, I don't know what it was inside the stone, I don't know, but they showed like this guy with the statue, and his I don't know, his staff sort of looked like the helmet of Galactus.
yeah,
But I was like, I don't know why they would be teasing that, or it was just like mistaking this,
yeah.
Because I was like, they didn't know they were gonna get those.
I mean, I don't know. It's Disney, so they probably have like the next things set in stone already, and they don't even have the properties yet. But yeah, so I think that's one thing that's gonna happen. I feel like I feel like they're gonna merge universes. So one of my theories is because I know the Russos had said that the next film they would want to direct would be Secret Wars. So there's two versions of Secret Wars. There's the old event Secret Wars, and then there's the newer one that just happened a few years ago that reshaped the whole Marvel universe as we knew it. The old Secret Wars was like a really cool like comic event where like all of the heroes we knew and love are abducted by aliens and made to fight in this like big like Coliseum type thing, and they like had to fight each other and
with the Celestials. Or
yeah, it was like Celestials or Beyonders or something made them fight each other. In the new Secret Wars that just happened a few years ago, I was kind of trying to follow it while it was happening, but there was so much that I couldn't keep up with all of it because I had limited funds back then, so I only knew some things, and I kind of pieced together what was happening. Basically, all the universes collided. And at the end of it, when all the universes collided and everybody died, Doctor Doom was there, and through some crazy powerful feat of magic or science or both, which is what he's known for, is he pulled all of the universes together into one super Earth, and it was called Battleworld, and it had sections of places from different universes. It had the Marvel Zombies universe had like its own big wasteland. There was a Marvel universe that was entirely made up of the Civil War story arc, where it was basically an America that was split in half down the middle, and their Captain America and their Iron Man were still at odds about how superheroing should happen, whether you should be registered or not. There were like really weird like heroes things. There was like a Doctor Strange possessing Frank Castle Punisher. And so he was Frank Castle as the Punisher, who had all of the powers of the Sorcerer Supreme. So he had magical bullets that were like flying around and exploding and all this kind of other kind of crazy shit. There were just all kinds of stuff. There was a city that was entirely ran by Iron Man, and everybody had Iron Man suits, like just all kinds of stuff. And so when you read this event, there were just so many like like odd scenarios that were here. And I honestly hope that if we do get to explore the multiverse of the MCU, we get to see some of those things because they were honestly incredible. Honestly, just really good. And this is also an excuse to bring back old characters but with new faces.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To like recast some people because I know some actors said that they're done. You know, and that's fine because they've already recasted a few characters like Rhodey and Hulk, had other actors. So I would like to see some of that. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But more realistically, I honestly don't. I'm not sure where we're gonna go. I know I have hopes. I've had hopes for a long time about what can happen, but I realistically I have no idea where we're going next.
Yeah, and so with that, with what's going next, we gotta talk about what I was talking about you and Mike at work. That for this episode, I did a little bit of research because I wanted to know because we all know about the deal that Sony and Marvel made to get Spider-Man. So I wanted to know exactly what it was said, and I found like a summary of it. So basically, Sony lent Spider-Man for 5 movies. That is Civil War, Homecoming, Infinity War, Endgame, and now Far From Home. That's it. All the stuff they get from it, they get the box office money for it. Sony gets it, an advertisement, and they get all the money for the toys. Marvel really doesn't get anything but the money for Endgame and Infinity War in a sense, because that's not a full-fledged Spider-Man movie.
And also, the Spider-Man movies will not go to Netflix.
Yeah.
Because Sony's technical ownership of those movies. Marvel/Disney has a deal where all of the MCU movies will end up on Netflix within a few months of them, exiting theaters. Those two cannot. I don't even think they're on Hulu either.
Yeah, they're not.
They're not on Hulu. They're not on.
I thought Homecoming was on Netflix for a while.
It was not.
No, it was not.
I guarantee you it wasn't because I was waiting for it.
Only Spider-Man that's on there is Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3 is the only one that's been on there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
And it's barely getting to Stars right now. I don't even know if that's a thing, but
Stars. It was on Stars. Yeah.
And so with that, a lot of people like in the trailer like, are you gonna be the new Iron Man? Are you gonna be this? Are you gonna be that? I know that's a thing in itself. And I really don't think so. What a big thing is happening. So all this fucking Marvel's having their fucking time. They bought this shit. Oop, I almost hit that. They bought out Fox. They got this shit. They got that. Sony's over here like, all right, we have Venom. They have works for Morbius coming out, another Spider-Man villain. They have stuff for the Kragan, right? The Hunter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Craven.
They got that coming out. Venom's getting a part 2. They in the article I was reading is saying that they have all the stuff to just throw in a Spider-Man at the end of it. So if they're trying to build their own thing, they're gonna have to. If they want to do their own thing, and Marvel wants to continue, because I think a lot of people will be upset if Spider-Man just automatically disappeared, because.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, it won't be the first time. But if it would just completely like, you won't see another Marvel movie, but then this other Sony does their own Spider-Man, because even they're doing Spider-Verse, they're doing a lot with Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse.
Honestly, what I'm hoping is that they continue to go that animated route, because Into the Spider-Verse was incredible.
Yes, it was.
That was honestly, that movie's a 10 out of 10 for me.
Yes.
I hope they just continue going that avenue, and they're like, live action Spider-Man, you can have him. You guys did a better job than we ever did. I'm not to shit on Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield, but Tom Holland and the MCU is just, the movies are just higher quality, a lot better storytelling wise.
Even Stan Lee said that Tom Holland was
like
the incarnate, Spider-Man. So Peter Parker. Yeah. So what I'm thinking is that I think it's what I was thinking is that they're gonna come back after this. They're gonna be like, all right, so what's the new? Because at that point, what's the point? How's the deal gonna do if they're not making any money off of it other than Infinity? So Sony's already winning. So you would think that Sony might just say, okay, you do that, but I don't think they will. So what is Marvel gonna have to do now? What have they been doing? You guys can answer. What have they been doing?
I don't know.
They're
They've
just buying everything.
buying everything.
Yeah, so I hope honestly I don't know if that's a sale they can make now since Spider-Man's gotten so much off of them
Yeah.
for Sony, especially with just the really lenient deal of like you get all the money for these movies that we made.
Yeah,
You know?
and we had to talk about that with Mike, my other cousin Michael. Remember how he was like, no one's really stopping him. I was like, what the fuck? Well, you know, what's gonna stop them? No one's really stopping them. But I feel like if Disney would go to Sony and be like, we're gonna get you, you know,
Yeah.
I feel like they're the only ones that are gonna say, nah.
I mean, Sony kind of has that power, just of where they are, because they're not just movies, you know. They're
other
they're like a multifaceted like you know, company, you know, in electronics and everything else, you know, just all this stuff, music, especially music, you know, video games, all of it, you know, they have their hands in. So they're a big enough you know, company to where it would be hard to buy them out, because with Fox they didn't really even buy Fox, they just bought a bunch of stuff off of them.
Yeah, they brought part of it.
They just wanted the properties they got, and like they kind of took them by force. I don't know if that's going to be an option for Sony.
Yeah.
It might, it very well might, but I have no idea.
Yeah, because like you said, I would like them to go down the animated.
Yeah, I would hope that they were just like, okay, you know what, you take this, you make the movies, you give us the money, whatever. Let's not complicate that deal, because it's already made us money, and we're doing our own thing, and with whatever we got, and that's okay.
I would see a deal is like this. I feel like this is what might be the best one.
Mhm.
How about you give us Spider-Man,
Mhm.
and you give us Spider-Man, you let us use Venom. You can keep the movie. We can use Venom as like a person, so you can have that down the line. And then you could continue making your movies as you want it. We're not going to take it away from you. You can keep doing that.
Yeah.
And if you want to use a Spider-Man Peter Parker, you can go ahead and do that too. But if you're going to go animated route, you could use a Peter Parker. I mean, they had one in there. I mean,
There was two.
there was
3 actually.
yeah, there was a lot.
3 Peter Parkers in there.
Yeah, so you know what I mean?
There was even a Peter Porker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peter Parker.
Because like I don't see Marvel just gonna start. Because I know. Remember Willard told me that he thinks that after this one, or after that there's gonna be no more. They're gonna try to do Miles Morales, but you see that Sony already did it.
Mhm.
So
Well, they still could, you know, but that's still Spider-Man. They still don't own that.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So because that's what I'm worried about. Because I love Spider-Man. You know, we all love Spider-Man. And but it would be sad to see him just be gone after he just had this. You know,
Yeah.
he basically only had one movie. And the other ones are halves. So basically, if you cut the halves, you got.
Well, I mean,
You got
I wouldn't-
2.5
I wouldn't-
movies.
I wouldn't say that Infinity War was a half movie, because he was in most of it.
Yeah, that's what I was
Now,
saying. I'll give him
Endgame,
2.5.
obviously, he was like.
In not a lot of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was in the very last of it,
Yeah.
and then of course he was in like the last part of Civil War.
Yeah,
So he'll have 3.5 total movies
yeah. So that's
by
what
the time that Far From Home's done.
Yeah, but it's just how would
Now, here's my thing: they could possibly go what I would call the Star Trek route.
Oh god, that sounds bad.
No. And here's the thing: Sony could retain the rights to, like, say, doing an animated TV series with the Miles Morales Spider-Verse property.
Yeah.
And then Disney would get the movie rights in order to continue
Making the movie.
Yeah.
making the movies
Well,
with the MCU.
The thing is, though, the rights that Sony does have right now is the only reason they could have made that Miles Morales into the Spider-Verse movie.
Yes, but what I'm talking about is TV show. Because here's the thing:
Disney already has all the rights for animated shows, because they already have Spider-Man. They already have Ultimate Spider-Man, and then several other Spider-Mans before that were all on Disney. All of the Marvel Avengers, they have complete ownership of animated TV shows.
Yeah, they just came out like the ones I seen.
but that could be the compromise that they send over.
No, that's been in place for a while.
Yeah, it's been there for a while. Yeah,
I think the only person to have had another Marvel thing that was animated, I think Nick had one of them for a while, and I don't think they have them anymore. I think Disney took it from him.
what was it?
I think it was like X-Men. Honestly, I think it was X-Men. I think
But
they had
anyway,
X-Men
so
television
the
show.
reason why I compare that to Star Trek is because CBS owns the right to doing Star Trek television series,
Yeah.
whereas Paramount owns the right to all the movies.
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe they could compromise some way by doing that. You know, they give them all
Yeah.
the animated rights to do animated movies or TV
That has
shows.
to be like a very specific contract, and I know it, and it would suck too because I honestly, so this is a tough question for me. So if in my head, so this is the way I see it going. If Disney makes that hard play where they're like, we're gonna buy it, or nothing, you know what I mean? Like that's our deal right now, and that's a very real option that they have. Was like either sell it to us or that's it, or you're not making any money off this deal. It kind of puts me in a hard place as a fan because then I really loved Into the Spider-Verse, but because it was a wholly complete, it wrapped inside itself Spider-Man story that only cares about Spider-Man, and that's of course my shit. I love Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But I also enjoy seeing him being able to interact with the rest of these Marvel characters that I do enjoy also. You know, him still being my favorite. I do enjoy getting to see him interact with, where he interacted with Iron Man and, now Nick Fury and, maybe even Cap, like old man Cap or new Sam Wilson Cap, And so it kind of sucks because the reality that I'm starting to see is that one of them is going to have to go. You know what I mean? And that really sucks. Is that both these things can't keep existing the way they are.
Because just like how we talked in the previous episode about Brightburn, how he was like an evil superhero, like not evil, but like he was just like it's a horror thing. They tried to do that with Venom. Venom is not like that as the Venom in the Venom movie.
Yeah, he's well. I mean, they did capture like some key aspects of who his character is, but they skipped over like all it took him to get there. So Venom now is like a hero / anti-hero, but he started out as a villain. When he met Eddie Brock.
Yeah,
Eddie Brock was kind of a dick, but they changed Eddie Brock's character to be not a dick. And actually kind of like a decent person, and so you have the Venom Eddie Brock combo that makes them come out to like not a villain, like not necessarily like a hero. He's definitely an anti-hero territory.
Yeah,
and it has still has some charm, like kind of like Deadpool kind of has, because where that you're not wholly good, if you're not like evil or anything. You're like, I'm doing a job and I'm getting it done. That's all I'm gonna agree that I'm doing.
because this is what what would be cool because eventually Peter Parker will be out of high school, right?
Yeah. Well, this is his senior year, so yeah.
So what I'm thinking is that on Disney XD there was like a Spider-Man show which I really liked. The voice of him was Drake Bell.
Yeah.
And that's the one where he worked with S.H.I.E.L.D. and was being trained to be Avengers, remember? And it was him, and it was Eddie Brock, and it was like a bunch of other people. And Eddie Brock had the symbiote, but he wasn't Venom. It was like more controlled.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never knew his name, but he wore like I don't know. He was covered in like the black Venom. He was black and white, but he was like more of like he looked more of like a rocker.
Oh.
I don't really.
Are you sure it was Eddie Brock and not Flash Thompson?
Oh fuck, maybe it was Flash. Yeah,
because Flash Thompson also gets the Venom suit.
Yeah,
and he's a good guy. He's like a Punisher type good guy.
Yeah. So I would like to see that down because I was like, we don't need Venom really. I mean,
Venom. I mean, I don't know. I was gonna say Venom's probably one of my favorite ones, but I mean, I really do enjoy all of Spider-Man's villains.
Yeah.
Because they just all hit like the aspects of things I love. So Venom particularly, it might honestly be my favorite because one of my favorite tropes in sci-fi and fantasy is like the symbiotic relationship between things, whether it's being possessed by a ghost or like Blue Beetle is in DC stuff where he has a suit that talks to him, and Iron Man kind of has a similar thing. I like those kinds of things, where two things exist in one person. So like Venom just really hits it for me. Like I love that kind of character interaction. So I'd love to see him in mainline
Yeah.
movies, but him being just in his own Sony movies is okay with me because then he's the headliner and I get to see just him.
Mhm.
I'm not necessarily gonna say I need to see him in a Spider-Man movie,
Mhm.
where he meets and fights Spider-Man or something, or he just talks to Spider-Man or whatever. I'm not gonna say I need those things. I mean, it'd be good, it'd be cool, but I
Yeah.
could live without it.
Yeah, and for people listening right now, and you're halfway through, and you're like, oh, you're not talking about this Far From Home movie. We are, but we also got to think that we're talking about the future as well.
Yeah, we're trying to
because
this is the end of Phase 3, right?
Yeah.
This movie's supposed to be the end of Phase 3.
I wish this was the start of Phase 4. I feel like Endgame should have been the end of Phase 3. And
Yeah,
then
this is a really weird note to end it on.
Yeah,
Because the Spider-Man movies the first Spider-Man movie kind of sticks out among the rest of them.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So like this is a really weird note to
Peter's
end it
not
on.
a senior.
He's not a senior.
That's what I
not a
figured.
senior.
I was gonna say because I don't think he was a senior.
What is he?
So he's got to be a junior.
So he's a junior. Oh, so
Yeah.
we still have another
Depending
year
on-
of high school.
Depending
Because
on.
Homecoming is a junior.
He was a
thing,
sophomore.
right?
I think he was a sophomore in,
Was it?
in Homecoming.
I thought he was a freshman.
No, I don't know. Yeah,
I really don't know. That okay? Well,
because when you said senior, I mean my phone's about to die. I can't really look at. I'm barely.
Because I'm looking at the Far From Home wiki page,
Uh-huh.
and it's saying that a potential third film would occur during Parker's senior year of high school,
Okay,
Yeah.
so then this is probably his junior year.
Yeah, junior year.
or maybe he is a sophomore. Because you got to figure it's going to take at least a couple years to
Yeah.
produce a third standalone Spider-Man film.
Yeah, and it might fast forward a year. So if this is a sophomore year,
Maybe.
then it'll probably take a whole year for them to figure something out in the year in the movie, But it'll take more than outside in real time, and then he might be a senior in the next one.
Okay.
Because, yeah. So
And Tom Holland, he does look fairly young, so he probably
yes,
could.
he
Yeah, he
easily,
does.
My
He-
kids,
he-
my kids don't fucking stop talking about.
He could very easily pass off as a 17, 18-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I wish, I don't know. I know there's a lot of hate, not hate, but I just wish that in this situation, I wish they could just come together and sit and talk. Like, you're already getting the money for the movies.
Yeah.
You
But
already
that doesn't matter anymore. In this day and age,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you're already getting money. It's it's if there's the potential for more money, they're gonna go for more.
yeah,
money.
because
It's never about safety. Because look at what's happening with with what Disney's doing already. They're making their own subscription service, and they're not looking at the reason that Netflix did so well and has continued to do so well was that it was still just the prime source for a subscription service. But now we're branching off. There's like so many. There's Verve. There's Hulu. There's Crunchyroll. Verve. I said Verve already.
YouTube Premium.
Yeah. YouTube Premium is now trying to do TV and movies. There's just so more that Disney's making its own. Each of the freaking
Yeah, well, there's already YouTube TV. Where
yeah,
you can,
each of the paid cable channel networks have just a streaming service now where you don't even need cable to watch them anymore. Like, I'll just pay for HBO, I'll just pay for Stars, on its own. And so we're just getting back to where we were already, where there's all of the stuff you want is now split up again, and so you're gonna get to the point where people aren't gonna pay for stuff anymore. Like the only reason piracy went down was because Netflix was so easily accessed. It was high quality. It had a lot of selection, so people stopped pirating things. But now that everything's being split up again, piracy's on the rise, and it's just gonna happen. I'm not gonna say I'm against it, because I can't really blame them. I'm like, if it's so hard to get things digitally and easily streamable, might as well steal it,
Yeah.
And so that's just what we see ahead of us is that it would really suck if Disney and Sony couldn't come to an agreement where we get all the things that we want, because all these things are set up. Like, Venom wasn't a great movie. I loved it personally.
Yeah,
As a fan of Venom, that movie was made for me, and I liked it. And so I would like to see a continuation of that. I'd like to see a continuation of Spider-Verse. I'd like to see a continuation of Tom Holland in the MCU.
And then, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
And so it's like I said, it just sucks that these things might come to an end one way or the other.
Yeah, and then for instance, Sony, Spider-Man does have some villains that are kind of not like rated R, like stuff that Disney might not include, like Venom. I don't think if Disney did do a Venom movie, they would have him biting people off, and
Well, I mean, Venom didn't always necessarily do that.
Yeah,
like he
yeah.
could still kill people because people die in the MCU still. Like,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
what he normally does, that's kind of like the PG version, is he like eats them in a way where he doesn't actually eat them. He puts them, he like grabs them with his tentacles and puts them in his body, and he like drinks them and then he spits them back out.
Yeah, because Sony could like just look into like all the villains, or I don't know, because it would be smarter for them to go the animated route, like you said, because there's actually talk like with in the sequels of Into the Spider-Verse that
they're already confirmed, so I know they're gonna at least get those movies.
Yeah,
that I hope at least we get to see the finished version of what was started, because I know there's gonna be the Spider Girls one with all the female Spider people, and then I think hopefully just a Spider-Verse 2 where that continues the main plot of what's happening in the first one.
Yeah, that's already confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's already talk with Sony saying that they're trying to get Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield to come on to play other Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool, and they
because they were, like I said, like we were saying with the whole multiverse thing, in the comic for the Spider-Verse event, there were Spider-Man who they weren't like shown in panels, but there was like a quick little interaction between a few Spider-Man where they're just like sitting and they're like in the midst of this huge battle between all these Spider-Man and the villains of the thing. I can't remember exactly what they were called, but so they're sitting back, they're like refilling their web shooters and everything, and they're like talking and they're like yeah, this is really crazy. Like, I didn't really think there was this many Spider people out there. And he's like yeah, and they're all so different. Like, and then they both look like did you see that one that looked like Andrew Garfield? He's like, yeah, I did. What's up with that? And they it's just kind of like a passing line, but like, like I knew it. Like I knew who that's who that was supposed to be. It was supposed to be the one that was from that universe,
Yeah.
from the movie. And I just thought that was funny.
Yes. So all right, so I want to do this cool thing. So if Spider-Man does continue and there's some kind of agreement with it goes into, who are some people, I don't know, maybe name up to maybe two or three, some people you want to see in the future Spider-Man film. You can go. You want to start, Josh, and then we'll go to circle.
And now are we talking just like characters in general,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we can't use Venom. Stuff that's not
villains?
used yet.
Yeah.
Villains or anyone you want. Anyone you want.
Yeah.
Well,
Any
okay.
side
Well, I mean, obviously, one choice would be Green Goblin.
Yeah.
But I feel like he might be overused at this point.
Yeah.
Because he's been in all.
1, 2, 3.
I don't feel like he's been done justice yet.
No.
Because I don't have a problem with the Green Goblins we've been shown, but they
didn't have
fell
a
down
with Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, well, Willem Dafoe did an incredible job at what he did. Like I said, I don't have any problems with the Green Goblins they did show, but it's just the characterization that they gave him. They gave him in both of those old Spider-Man movies was that it was a virus turned him crazy, and then he's just mad, But in the comics, he's more like a Joker character. Like he plays around. Like of course he's fucking crazy, but he's still like a mastermind of some kind,
Yeah.
And he's pulling all this stuff off, and he's messing with Spider-Man. And that's kind of more of what I wanted to see instead of him. He's just angry. He's got problems. He's killing people. Whatever. I'd like to see more of the cynical, sinister looking stuff. Where he's actually menacing instead of just being bad and around.
And then for my other pick, I don't know. I'm not as big a fan of the Spider. I mean, I like Spider-Man, but I'm not as big a fan of him as you guys are. So I'm not as familiar with the Spider-Man world anymore. I used to be more familiar with it when I was younger. But what is it? Electro or?
Oh yeah, he was in the Garfield ones.
Yeah, he was even teased in the Homecoming.
Yeah, well, a lot of them were.
Yeah, a lot of them were.
The whole Sinister Six were kind of teased.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd have to pick Green Goblin and Electro.
Okay.
What do you think?
So one thing I'm not gonna say necessarily he's my pick, but one thing I was kind of sad about not seeing, come to full fruition was the Paul Giamatti as the Rhino. I just thought that would have been tight. At least funny, because Paul Giamatti's is an actor I enjoy in where he has to play somebody who's terrible, because he's really good at it, as playing somebody you're not supposed to like. I don't know. More. Doc Ock, I want to see come back. Doc
Yes,
Ock,
Doc
Doc Ock
Ock.
is like necessary.
I love
He's
Doc Ock.
he's because it's such a especially in the and so when I want Doc Ock to come in, I especially want hopefully somewhere along the lines in the future, I want there to be the Superior Spider-Man event where that's Doc Ock taking Peter's body, and he still has Doc Ock's like crazy drive to be like the smartest, best thing ever, but he's got Peter Parker's like morals and just thoughts of justice. So when he gets into Peter Parker's body, he's like, so I feel the need to be a hero and to help people. I'm gonna help them so fucking hard, way better than actual Peter Parker ever could. And he becomes essentially like this kind of like Iron Man almost character, because he makes all these crazy inventions that he adds onto the suit. He gets the the Iron Spider claw things, and that's how he uses them because of course he's used to moving like that as Doc Ock, So that melding of stuff was a fun event to read. It was so interesting. So that's something I would like to see. I know it's not technically its own character, but it kind of is. It's a Peter Parker Doc Ock mashup. Was something I really hope to see.
Sounds pretty cool.
Okay.
And then for me, I have two people. Like I would like to see Black Cat.
You know what? That the fact that has not been in any of the movies yet.
I swear, what was the girl's name in Spider-Man 3? The one he dated. Wasn't that Gwen Stacy? Not Gwen. Yeah, wait.
He dated Gwen Stacy in Spider-Man 3.
Well, isn't that Black Cat? Who's Black Cat?
No, Black Cat's her own thing. Her name's like Felicia.
Oh yeah, okay.
Felicia Hardy
All
or
right,
something.
so
Or Felicia. Yeah. I was gonna say Felicia Day. I was like,
because if this pans out like the trailer for Homecoming is, and MJ and them, come together or whatever, and they both like each other, it'll be cool to have that like other love interest after a while. If this does take place the senior year where this new kid's here, and then you can just picture like he's fighting crime and he's about to get beaten, and then Black Cat comes and saves him, and he's like, "Who is that?" And then you find that out. I think that would be kind of cool. And then he's trying to like, "Whoa, that's crazy! You're just like me, superhero, but you're also a normal kid like me," And he's like, and then love interest and stuff and stuff, but not like a huge love story, where it takes away from them. You know what I mean?
And because they're an interesting matchup in that I think her power is one of the people that's like probability control, but hers is kind of passive where she's lucky is her thing. She takes luck from other people.
Yeah.
So she makes other people unlucky and makes herself lucky.
Yeah.
As I think how it works. And that's just cool with when it comes to like Spider Sense and when they fight. It's just funny.
Yeah, and then the other person I wanted, I don't really know if it has a name or if it classifies for what this one. I want Peter Parker to go through the phase like he did on the animated cartoon, where he like became a spider. Like what he grew the other arms. And
oh,
he's
man,
like
spider.
Yeah, yeah, that would be so cool. Like, because I sort of like the idea of it in Spider-Man 2 where he was losing his powers. So it would be cool if he went through that as well. He's just like, dude, like, what if I can't be Spider-Man again? But then like I want it to be like he doesn't have it, then he has it, and then it goes too far. Like it's like going, fluctuating. And that would be so cool. And then that would be cool. Oh, dude, that would be cool because then the guy from the Daily Bugle can come. Spider-Man's a menace. Look at him, he's a fucking monster.
Yep.
That would be so
God,
cool.
That's the one thing I'm disappointed in is that we don't have the J. Jonah Jameson we all know and love.
Yeah,
because he played that part so
Yes,
well
he
that I
did.
can't think of anybody else in that part.
Did you see the deleted scenes or whatever?
Where he's in the suit?
Yeah,
and he's still got the cigar in his mouth. He's going like.
Yeah. So that would be so cool because then you don't really need a villain for that. I guess you could say because he'll be his own monster.
It's like an internal thing. You know?
And then that would be so cool because it'll be different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's something we haven't seen in a while. We have seen like the internal struggles of these superheroes, but it always like manifests, and there's also like a physical villain attached to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it would be good to see a story where it's all an internal struggle where he's struggling with his identity. Controlling his superpowers, and then that happening to him, and what it means, because then he'll still think like, oh well, I still have powers, I should still be a superhero, but I'm a monster and I can't go around normal people anymore. So obviously I have to abandon my regular life and be a superhero full time.
Yeah.
And that would just be an interesting a thing to do to his character.
Yeah, and plus if we can't get Venom, that'll probably be like the own monster of Spider-Man that we can get.
Where he's
and then if Fox does come out with the X-Men and stuff soon, you know, I mean Disney and stuff. It'll also be cool to see Deadpool and Spider-Man interact with each other since
because that's like one of the most popular comics right now.
Yeah, because since we know that Wolverine isn't coming back. Yeah, so he's not. He's done.
Yeah,
and I think
he'll be recast.
Yeah, he'll be recast. Or
that'll be a hard recast.
They'd rather be recast, or they'll just continue with X-23 or something, or they'll just not have him, because that will be a hard recast. But like some people say, like if they have someone who looks like him and does a good job, then he'll pass. But it'll be cool because now that everyone wants this Deadpool and Wolverine thing to happen, and now it can't. It'll be cool to have the next best thing, which would be Deadpool and Spider-Man, because that would be kind of cool as well.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, their personalities.
Since buying Fox, the only thing is not being recasted, being changed, keeping his R rating is Deadpool.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's completely the only person who's not changing.
Yep.
So that'll be the only cool thing for the next best thing for Wolverine will be something. So that's what I would like. I know I said 2, but that popped in my head when you were talking. Right,
okay. So I think that probably wraps it up for us right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So
don't question it. You guys gonna go see it?
Oh yeah. Are we gonna see? Oh hell yeah, I'm gonna see it.
Pass.
Yeah, you know what?
Pass.
I'll pass on that.
No,
I'll go see the next one.
Yeah. Yeah. So
no, I think we'll probably end up going to see it together or something.
Probably. I'm probably gonna be out of work, so nothing's gonna stop me.
Oh fuck yeah! It is in July. You're right.
Yeah, it's in July.
I've only seen it twice.
I'm gonna see it, and I'm gonna stay there to see the next one.
Yeah. See, I don't have money like that, so I'll go see it once, and then I'll wait for it to come out on Blu-ray. Then I'll watch it again.
Watch it a few
Then
times.
we'll have a movie day. We'll watch it all together.
Yeah, watch it at work. Why not?
Yeah, fuck it.
Yep. So
I don't give a fuck what we're doing here, but when that movie comes out, movie day.
Yep.
Yeah, but
All right.
yeah, that's about it. Yeah. All of us say that was a lot of stuff. Like I said, guys, we didn't really talk about the trailer because the trailer is self-explanatory a little bit.
Yeah.
But we need to talk about what this trailer led into. We did about the multiverse. Yeah. Is it a multiverse? Is it not? And then the future of what's going to happen next after this movie.
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff a lot of people didn't know about.
Yep. And we honestly still don't know. There's still so much left. Hopefully we'll get more trailers that tell us more, or just more finite.
Yeah.
Statements from anybody at Marvel about what's the future going to look like.
And I think we'll get a little more of an idea too once we start seeing some of the titles for the future movies.
Yeah, we'll see that when.
Yeah, it's just going to be Avengers 4. Spider-Man's not here.
No, I'm sure we'll probably see
Spider-Man. He can't be here.
Spider-Man too far gone.
I'm sure what we'll get is probably a trailer for another Marvel movie in the before Spider-Man. When we go see it, because that's usually how they do it.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Well, so other than that, thank you guys for sitting and listening with us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also email us at nerdsmakesense@yahoo.com. And until the next one, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Hasta.